Alrighty, the Cleveland Browns get embarrassed again, this time to the New England Patriots on the road. I'm Nick Pedone, Bigplay Dave, hanging out on the Bigplay post-game show presented by FanDuel. Dave has a garage beer in hand, and it is a necessary one. 5 sacks for Myles Garrett don't mean anything. That was the microcosm of Myles Garrett's career here in Cleveland. Career day, all really for naught. I mean, this was a game that was not really competitive. Opening script looked really good. Outside of that, looked really bad. We're going to break it all down. But dude, that was about as embarrassing of a game as this team has had. They've had a lot of embarrassing games through the first 8 to start this season here. They're 2-6 going into the bye week. Kevin Stefanski meeting with reporters right now saying that they will look at everything, but the plan is to stick with Dillon Gabriel as the quarterback coming out of the bye week. So initial reactions to the game, initial reactions to that as the press conferences have started out there in Foxborough.
Yeah, Nick, I mean, you hit it on the head. Myles Garrett, perennial first ballot future Hall of Famer, best game of his career, and it's a blowout. Like, not even close. Like, I think we have a really, really good defense, and they're just like, F it. Like, if we're down, they just cash it in. They're like, you know what? We have no chance of winning this game.
Yeah, there's only so much they can do. Football is a game, and like I feel like I've learned this really in the last 5 years. Field position means everything in this sport. So if the offense isn't contributing anything and you're not winning the field position battle, they're only going to bail you out of a short field situation twice before they just can't keep doing it. And it's not that you need to be awesome offensively. If this team had a bad offense, they'd be 500 right now. A bad offense would have this team at 500.
Yeah, Nick, you look at our offensive numbers today. So if you're gonna run the ball with your primary back, Quinshon Judkins, only 9 times, your starting quarterback better have more than 144 yards. And Nick, I'm going to give you a little quiz here. Dillon Gabriel had 19 catches, throws to his receivers. How many of those do you think were to a wide receiver, a completed catch?
Not many. I haven't pulled up the box score yet. Jamari Thrash had the big
2.
That's it.
He hit a receiver twice. Like I understand Kevin Stefanski is going to be run it a lot, dual tight ends, which are pretty good. Harold Fant and Njoku, very good when they're both healthy on the field. Judkins, when you run him, he does well. You abandon it because you're getting blown out. But if you're throwing the ball as much as we're throwing the ball and you only are getting 144 yards, you have absolutely no chance.
Yeah, and not only does this offense not intimidate anybody, the offense doesn't even employ a player that intimidates anybody. And when you guaranteed Jerry Jeudy $41 million, you imagine that was a guy that was going to give you wide receiver 1 production. Did not have a catch today. His worst game since he came into the National Football League. Isaiah Bond, I don't know what they're trying to show themselves. I don't know what they're trying to fool all of us with. Isaiah Bond was an undrafted free agent. And I get that he had the legal stuff, and that's what went into him being an undrafted free agent. He's showed me absolutely nothing. He could get open downfield, but the rest of the time he doesn't know what's going on. And if you have a quarterback that you overdrafted in the top 100 when everybody else had a 5th or 6th round grade on him, and he has a noodle arm and he can't get the football downfield to a speedster like Isaiah Bond, it's useless. It's
dude,
useless.
He chucked that one. He chucked it. I lost it in the lights. It was up in the air for 30 seconds.
I've seen a lot of bad quarterback play, being a fan of this team, covering this team for my entire life. The ineptitude of what I saw out of Dillon Gabriel today, I mean, it just sums up what everybody thought about this guy in the preseason. He's wildly inaccurate. He has no elite physical tools. In fact, his physical limitations put him behind the 8 ball so much, and the coaching staff does very little to put him in spots to overcome any of that. I don't think the left-handedness helps anything. He's a complete comedy of errors, and they basically burnt a top 100 draft selection on him. Like you literally took a top 100 draft selection and you set it on fire. Most teams use those top 100 picks. Super Bowl winning team linebacker, that's a stud. You draft a free safety, that's a stud. The Browns draft Dylan Gabriel because he's smart. He doesn't look really smart when you're watching the games. He processes the field tremendously slow.
Oh, look, there's a Patriots defender. Let's throw it right to him. Like some of those throws, like you just have to laugh. Like there was one towards the end of that game, Harold Fannin coming across on just like a little slant 5 yards in front of him, and it was like 4 feet away. Like completely inaccurate. It doesn't make any sense.
And like I get when the game gets away from you late, like you have to start taking chances and you have to start, just doing whatever through the air, and you can't really run the football. But like that was a game at around halftime. The game really ended when Carson Schwessinger had the interception. They had 4 plays for 5 yards, and then Andre Schmidt missed the field.
Dude, no, the game ended after the first game plan drive by the Browns, like it has for the last year and year and year and year. Like Stefanski, for some reason, cannot draw up anything past that first drive.
I know
the only consistent thing he's ever done.
Diana Rossini, got some quotes from Jimmy Haslam that were going around on social coming into this game. And Jimmy Haslam pretty much said, you learn the most of your leaders when things are bad. When things are bad and your back is against the wall, how your leaders perform is how you find out what you have. And he was giving Stefanski kind of a vote of confidence coming off that Dolphins game when it seemed like the season could have been dead, but they responded with a big win. After this game, though, like I think we're kind of right back to where we were after the Steelers loss in terms of the fan base. Like behind closed doors, I don't know where Jimmy's head is at. I really think the Haslam Sports Group feels really guilty about the Deshaun Watson thing. I think they know that they have a reputation that they're quick to hire, quick to fire, and they're trying to shake that. But with what you've put on display this year, and this dates back to the offseason. Like the 4-man quarterback competition thing was really the island of misfit toys. Like nobody was really lined up to sign Joe Flacco, who's going to be 41 and just lost to the winless Jets. Nobody was kicking down Howie Roseman's door in Philadelphia to trade a draft pick for Kenny Pickett. Right. And then you overdrafted Dylan Gabriel and you drafted Shedeur Sanders, who I'm excited to see at some point, but nobody else wanted. So it really was the island of misfit toys that they categorized as a 4-man quarterback competition. It has not worked. And the fact of the matter is you're down to the last one of those 4 guys, and you have 9 regular season games to go just to hit the finish line of this thing. Just for this all to be mercifully over, you still have to get through 9 more of these.
And you mentioned with their back against the wall, like what do the Browns do? Well, today they throw an intentional grounding, they get a safety, they go and get an onside kick, and then they proceed to get it and go for it out with some shitty throws. Like this is what we're dealing with the Cleveland Browns. It's embarrassing.
And I know like the big topic of conversation going into Monday will be about Mike Vrabel. And I kind of wanted to put this out there before that even starts, because I think it bears mentioning when you look at what's going to happen later this winter and into the coaching cycle. I don't know that Mike Vrabel wanted to stay here. That's usually a two-way street. Like in order to hire a head coach needs to want said job. And with Deshaun Watson's contract still being fully guaranteed for this year, still being fully guaranteed for next year, I really think you're probably looking at hiring a Kevin Stefanski clone. I don't know any proven retread coach is going to want to come put their neck on the line for this mess right now. So, like, I get everybody wants to see their pound of flesh. I'm going to reiterate, like, you've still got 9 regular season games just to hit the finish line. And I don't know who you're going to get to sign up to come be a part of this mess, because that's really what it looks like right now. It's a mess.
No, it'll be an interim. It'll be an interim coach if they decide to get rid of Stefanski, who, by the way, sticking with Dylan Gabriel moving forward. Is there any reason to not throw Shador out there outside of having an awful line?
No reason. Because you know what the reason is, and it's unfortunate. The reason is that
I'm sorry, I meant Bailey Zappi.
they're so stubborn in everything that they do, and they tell themselves that they have this airtight plan and they have this special sauce that's going to really develop Shador Sanders. They've never developed anybody. I hate to tell you guys that. Like, I know, like, Kevin Stefanski deserves his credit for what he was able to do with Brissett and PJ Walker and all that stuff.
Sure.
That was 3 years ago that they've picked, Dave. Kevin Stefanski was real excited to coach Dylan Gabriel. How's he look? The last guy that he was really excited to see was Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who somehow got worse from UCLA. You could have just put him on the field from UCLA, and he would have been better than whatever he turned into when the Browns got their hands on him. So they're continuing to tell themselves and to tell everybody that they're developing this kid behind the scenes, and they got some kind of airtight plan, but nobody should believe it.
No, and if you don't throw to your wide receivers, like if you never throw downfield, like your running game has to be perfect, your line has to be perfect. You like Stefanski, like on paper, that can work.
Right.
But it's the Browns, and it's never going to work.
Right.
You have to figure out a way to actually move the ball down the field outside of the first drive of the play, and they can't do it because teams know exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to adapt to anything.
And the league is set up in such a way where, like, it is advantageous for you to throw the ball downfield. Like, how many times do you see some of the top tier receivers, which the Browns don't have, by the way? Like, I fully understand that the Browns don't have a guy that can really do this, but like Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, Justin Jefferson, they'll run these deep routes and the quarterback will throw them the ball and the ball will be nowhere really near them, but they'll get held or they'll fall down or the defensive back will trip over them. And that's a spot foul, meaning that the football moves all the way towards where the receiver went down. If you don't try that throughout the game, you're never going to get that to happen in your favor. On the inverse, when other teams do it to you, it makes it that much harder to come back in these games. And that's why the defense just says, you know what, we've done what we can, and we're done.
We're done. They like we've always talked about Miles, like taking plays off or like looking disinterested during games. I get it. Like, I completely get it. You go out and you get 5 sacked. You have your greatest game you've ever had, and it's not fun at all for you because your team sucks.
Wow, Mike Vrabel just called out Stefanski, by the way. He said when their gimmick plays ran out, we played pretty good defense.
Their gimmick plays blew. Like, their gimmick plays were god-awful. The announcers were making fun of them.
Dude, think about this. Like, between Mike Vrabel, respected coach of the year, got fired, spent his year as an advisor where he's able to cash checks from Tennessee, immediately gets hired on as a head coach. He's calling you out. 2 weeks ago, you had Mike Tomlin, who he could call it a career today, and he's going to get fitted for a gold jacket to go into Canton. He calls out Andrew Berry. Like, the rest of the league, guys, Jimmy Haslam Sports Group, is telling you how they really genuinely feel about this coaching staff and this front office. It's a joke. Like the NFL is a brotherhood. These guys are not supposed to say this kind of stuff out loud.
Yeah. It's like we're the little brother of the NFL. They should just move us out of the NFL into a minor league. Like, it's like, Dylan Gabriel, when, like, speaking of little brothers, like when he was getting sacked by 3 gigantic Patriots, I felt so bad for him. Like, he shouldn't even be in there. He's not going to be an NFL.
And Mark Schlereth just went scorched earth on the receiving groom, and for good reason. I know a lot of people want to give Andrew Berry his pass for this because the rookies look really good, and
they do.
Judkins is scoring touchdowns, and Harold Fannin got in the end zone today, and Carson Schwessinger had an interception. Guess what, though, Dave? being a general manager is a lot more than writing names on draft cards. And it's a lot more than having one good draft. Like you mean to tell
We've
me
never had any good drafts, Nick, so this is an improvement.
you couldn't tell me that over the last 6 years you couldn't have found a receiver worth a lick. In the last 2 drafts, they have spent 1 pick on an offensive lineman, on an offensive line that's old, heading towards retirement, and they're all free agents. Literally all 5 starters on the offensive line are free agents. The only offensive lineman that they've drafted in the last 2 drafts, Zach Zinter. He doesn't even wear a helmet on game day. He sucks so bad. He's a healthy scratch on game day. Like, so I hate doing like the call for people's job thing. Again, we've got 9 regular season games, and I don't know if anything is going to fix this year. I just don't know after the 3-win debacle last year, and you see how inept all of this is right now. Like, there is no case to be made for these two at all. Like okay, you beat the Dolphins. The Dolphins are horrible, and your defense was awesome.
Yeah, but you know what's really sad is like I look at this team on paper and I like a lot of it. Like I know there's a lot of people who say, "Oh, just blow it up, trade Miles, trade Njoku, get rid of everyone, start fresh, stockpile picks." Now that Andrew Berry's had one decent draft, but like, God, you just get a couple linemen and you get a quarterback, and this is a team that could win with a different coach, probably.
It's disgusting. It really, because like other teams show you the blueprint every week. The Patriots were awful last year. The Patriots had the 4th pick in the draft, and they're on top of the AFC East. They're better than Buffalo right now. This doesn't have to be 1-31 all over again. But these analytic nerds in their spreadsheets think that it does. Like that's my fear, is they think that the only path forward is to strip it down to the studs.
Yeah, you cannot do that because we are so inept as an organization. Like you start over, you get 2 first-round picks for Myles Garrett, you get something for Njoku. The chance of Barry having 2 good drafts in a row is like pretty slim.
And then from a culture standpoint, you poison the kids. Like, what kind of message does that send to Mason Graham? Like, what kind of message does that send to Quinshon Judkins? Like, these guys are winners. Like, Mason Graham won a national championship with Michigan. Quinshon Judkins won a national championship with Ohio State. Harold Fannin Jr., I believe, played in a MAC championship with Bowling Green. Like, these guys are winners. Like, they don't want to come in here and stink up the joint. So, like, this doesn't have to be that hard. I kind of hope that this offseason, they really can get the right individuals in there. And if Stefanski has to go somewhere else and be a really good head coach somewhere else, then so be it. Like that's probably what's going to happen. I think he's smart. I think he's good at scheming things open. It's just not working here. Like it is so abundantly clear that whatever the message is, whatever the plan is, it's not working here. The roster, the team, everything is in a worse place right now than it was 6 years ago when they took this thing over.
It's great for 3 minutes on the first drive of the play, and that's it.
It's like all you need to watch for. All right, well, we got the bye week coming up, so it's hard to do too much of a look ahead to the Jets. Much needed bye week. Shedeur Sanders, it seems like this would have been the perfect opportunity. So NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported a couple of weeks ago that the expectation remains that the Browns are still going to get a look at Shedeur at some point this regular season. They want to do it when they have an entire week worth of prep so they could put together a game plan that fits Shedeur's skill set. You would think the bye week is the perfect time. Kevin Stefanski now saying immediately after this game that they're planning on sticking with Dillon Gabriel. I feel like that's the complete wrong move because, and it's not even about Shedeur like enlisting a spark or anything. It's more so about the game plan. Like maybe if you just rip up this conservative, boring, whatever the hell you're trying to do to protect Dillon Gabriel and you get something else, literally anything else can be better with what they're than what they're trying to do right now. Like I'm so ready to see Shedeur. I think doing it against the Jets makes a ton of sense, especially coming off a bye week. You could try to keep some of these vets bought in if he brings a little bit of that swag. You saw it in the preseason game. Like the veterans were walking out with him with the boombox, playing his own songs. Like the guy has fans in the locker room, so I don't really get why you don't do it now. But they're sticking with the supercomputer. So
this feels like about the time of the year where Jimmy starts getting that itch, and he's like, I don't know about Dillon Gabriel starting. He's probably agreeing with what you're saying right now. Maybe we won't see Kevin making that decision.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he said, he gave Kevin that vote of confidence in the Athletic, and he said that the
Right.
sample size on Dylan Gabriel was too small through 3 games, which I agree with. Like, it's hard
Yeah.
to make a read on anybody through 3 games, but with how it looked today, like, how is Dylan? Like, I wish I could ask Jimmy, like, well, how is Dylan Gabriel going to improve? Like, from what we just witnessed about 40 minutes ago until 14 days from now, how is he going to significantly improve with this offensive line, this receiver group? All of those variables are going to be unchanged. What difference are we going to see with him? Like, we're not going to learn anything better, and we're only going to learn worse things about Dylan Gabriel as this goes on.
Yeah, I mean, he's very competent at throwing it 7 yards on 4th and 15. Like, we know what he can do. He can do that. Because they're going to give you that. I mean, he's a rookie quarterback. Obviously, you don't give up on a rookie quarterback that you fell in love with during the draft. Probably the only team who did. But you don't give up on him immediately. But I mean, I think we can agree the season's over, correct?
Yeah, 2 and
Okay,
6.
season's over, so you have to figure out who Dylan Gabriel is. I think we're starting to get a very good idea, and you have to have enough games that are not meaningful games, but like actual NFL games for Shador to get at least 4 to 5 starts, and we're running out of time. Did I lose you?
No, I'm really just to be honest with you. Like, I think even when they turn it to Shador, like now knowing at least operating currently under the guys that it's not going to be against the Jets, like they're going to turn to Shador with like 5 or 6 games left.
Yeah.
Like that. And even if he balls out, that's not going to be a big enough sample size. Like the message out of this loss, and it's unfortunate because it's all we've ever had to do. But like at 2 and 6, fire up the mock drafts. Like at 2 and 6, start watching a lot of Fernando Mendoza at Indiana. Start watching a lot of Dante Moore at Oregon. I would throw Lenora Sellers in there. Maybe he put together a really good game for SC.
That was a tough loss.
Even though they're not very good, I think he's pretty good. I keep looking into some of the project guys. Ty Simpson, maybe. I don't know the last Alabama quarterback that did anything, even though Mac Jones is kind of turning his career around.
It's October, late October, and you're already talking draft.
It's really all we have, and this is the situation. I want to remind people, like, this is the situation that they created. They created this. They made the worst trade in the history of professional sports when they gave up 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. It's a trade that they're still paying for right now. Like the Deshaun Watson trade is part of the reason why you lost to the Patriots today, and it's the most important position in sports. Drake May looked really good. Dylan Gabriel looked really bad. That's the reason why the Browns lost. And until you solve that, and you have 2 first-round picks to try to solve that, these are the conversations that are going to continue. And it doesn't matter if it's Dylan or Shador or Bailey Zappi. Like, until you have one of those guys that is clearly and evidently a cut above everybody else, it's just not going to matter.
So are we on the same page, Nick? Do you continue as is and keep building through the draft and free agency, or because I think we're going to see probably about half of Browns fans say blow it up, fire Stefanski, trade Miles, get multiple first round picks. Miles is probably the highest trade value right now that you're ever going to get for him. I don't think that's a good plan.
Here's the thing, though, like the thing with the trading, he has a no trade clause. So you've automatically lost leverage because he could pick his destination. So if he tells you I'm only playing in Dallas and Jerry Jones will not give you 2 first-round picks, are you going to trade one of the best defensive players
you
ever?
You could get 2 first-round picks from Jerry Jones.
I think so as well. Yeah. Especially because they've got the extra picks to work with now because of the Parsons thing. I just don't think that's the path. I agree with you. I don't think blowing it up is the path. I think you probably need a fresh voice at head coach and general manager, just because I think somebody has to be held accountable for the debacle that happened here. And if you hit on these next 2 first-round picks, you draft an offensive lineman and you draft a quarterback, or you draft a quarterback and you draft Carnell Tate, or you draft a quarterback and you draft Caleb Downs, and then go wide receiver at the first pick in the second round. Like, there's so many variables of what you can do, but if you hit on those early picks next year, and Quinshon Judkins continues to progress, and Harold Fannin looks like that kind of dude, and you see spots throughout the roster, and you could maintain a lot of these defensive guys who are young and under contract already. You bring back the likes of Devin Bush on the 1-year vet deals like he's on. Like, this doesn't have to be that painful. It really does not. I think you need some fresh voices in there. I really do, because I think these guys are just it's year 6. Your records are firmly under 500. We know what you are as a coach and a general manager right now, and you ace these next 3 draft picks. Like, I'll give you the Browns first pick, the Jaguars first pick, and the Browns first pick in the second round. You ace those 3 picks, and you could be a potential playoff. You're in the hunt for the wild card next year.
Yeah, you just have to throw it to a wide receiver, not named Kamari Thresh,
who actually looked good.
Pretty good.
I'm team play Jamari Thrash over Isaiah Bond for whatever that's worth.
Yeah. Isaiah Bond almost had a good pass deflection on that interception. So let's not knock him too hard, Nick.
All righty, we're wrapping this thing up.
Yeah.
Go enjoy the Myles Garrett press conference. It's going to be a good one. I'll be on Big Play Cleveland tomorrow night. Tune into that. Who knows how I'll be feeling with even more time to digest this loss. We'll be live after the Jets game. And if they lose that one, oh boy, buckle up. But yeah, it's been fun. I'm Nick Pedone. He's Big Play Dave. Go drink some